All right, let's dive into the wild world of iGaming marketing. From the outside, it seems like this super complicated, fast-moving space. But today, we're going to break it all down and show you how it really works.
So, you've probably been scrolling online, right? You see an ad for some slot game, or maybe you see a streamer playing one, and you think, how did this game, out of thousands, get in front of me? What's the secret sauce that turns a bit of code into a massive hit? Well, that's exactly what we're about to unpack. And the best way to get your head around it is with this one simple idea. Think of iGaming marketing like a giant iceberg. Everything we see is the public. The flashy ads, the viral videos, the big-name streamers, that's just the very tip. The real work, the strategy, the engine that actually drives all the success, that's all happening way down below the surface.
So let's start with what you do see. Let's talk about that tip of the iceberg. This is the stuff that gets all the attention, the stuff that shows up on your social feeds. We're talking about those really visible, public-facing tactics that pretty much everyone knows.
When it comes to streamers, there are basically two ways to play it. On one hand, you've got these big, direct partnerships. A game company pays a huge streamer a ton of money to play their game. And yeah, it makes a lot of noise, but according to Mike Wiseman over at NGM Game, the actual return on that investment, it's not always clear. That's why his team takes a more pragmatic approach. They find streamers who are already playing their games just because they love them, and they support those guys. It's about choosing authenticity over just buying hype.
And here's a perfect example of how that organic culture can be insanely powerful. You might remember the Bombardiro Crocodilo meme. It was just everywhere. Now, most of us just laughed and kept scrolling, but NGM Game, they saw a huge opportunity. They whipped up a slot game called Brain Rot Mania based on that exact meme. Get this, their own team was skeptical. They thought a top 20 finish would be a huge win, but the game just tapped into something, and now it's on track to be one of their top 3 performing games ever. That's turning a silly internet meme into serious cash. Okay, so that's the shiny tip of the iceberg. Now let's take a breath and dive down deep below the surface. This is where the real business happens, far away from the viral moments and the celebrity streamers. This is the engine room. Down here, marketing splits into 2 really different but equally powerful channels. First, you've got affiliate channels. This isn't about looking cool. It is pure, hardcore performance. You pay affiliates for one thing, getting players who actually sign up and deposit money. It's a pay-for-results game. Then, on the other side, you have the B2B industry portals. Think of these like the fancy trade magazines of the iGaming world. You're not trying to get players here. You're trying to build your brand's prestige, impress investors, and show the rest of the industry that you are a serious contender. And the most important thing is knowing what each channel is for. Confusing them is a classic, expensive mistake. Mike Wiseman put it perfectly. He said using B2B ads to try and get players is like buying an ad in Forbes and expecting teenagers on TikTok to like you. It just doesn't work. They're totally different audiences with totally different purposes. One's for performance, the other's for prestige. So how do you put all these pieces together to actually win? We've talked a lot about theory, so let's get practical and look at how a top provider like NGM Game actually does it. This is their playbook. For them, it really boils down to 3 core pillars. And look what's number 1, product. Because at the end of the day, you can't market a bad game into a good one. It has to be fun to play. Second is platform. This is that below the surface stuff, the technical work of getting promoted through aggregators and casino lobbies. And finally, number 3 is community. That's the tip of the iceberg again, actually talking to your players, making memes, and building real relationships. And you absolutely need a bulletproof strategy because the competition out there is just ferocious. I mean, look at the big players right now. You've got Pragmatic Play, who are like a perpetual engine, just constantly churning out hits. You've got Play and Go, who are the absolute masters of branding. Then there are innovators like Push Gaming, the player-friendly folks at Relax Gaming, and the aggressive, fast-growing Hacksaw. This market is always changing, and one hit game can launch a new company onto this list overnight.
So where does all this go from here? Well, the next huge wave of change in iGaming marketing is already happening, and it's all being driven by one thing: artificial intelligence.
And look, AI isn't some distant sci-fi concept. It's here, right now, and it's already a game changer. Ad copy and visuals, they're being generated by bots that test dozens of versions every single day. The content you see is becoming hyper-personalized. So if you love games about ancient Egypt, the ads you see will use words like excavation and treasure. We're even seeing the rise of AI-powered streamers who can play and chat with an audience 24/7 and never ever get tired.
So if there's one thing to take away, it's this. The future isn't really about just showing someone a better ad. It's about creating content that can actually adapt to a player's mood in real time. Just imagine a game that senses you're getting a little bored and automatically ramps up the excitement, or senses you're frustrated and offers a little bonus. That's the direction we're heading in, a world where the line between the game and the marketing for it just completely vanishes.